live on StreamYard.
All right, I'm done the same.
I'll post in the community to say that we're live. Testing. Option on Instagram hasn't come up just yet. Don't forget to hit go live on your side as well.
Yes.
There you go. I've muted you on there.
God, I feel so techie, mate.
Okay, go live is working on Instagram for me.
Just hitting live now.
Welcome to live, everyone. Sam and I are here to talk about Amazon FBA, but we're just getting set up. Give us a moment.
I think I'm good my end now.
Yeah, seems to be right. Cool. I'll post in the community that we are live.
Instagram
How's
live?
your day?
Very delayed. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Instagram is always delayed, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll get rid of
So,
that.
How's your day been so far, Sam?
Yeah, it's been good, mate. It's mine and my wife's 11-year anniversary today.
Hey.
So, so not that we're actually doing anything at all. We're going
11 years. That's good innings right there.
Yeah, it's a long one, mate. But it's been good. Right, I'm trying to think where I am.
You met her fairly young then.
I guess more like 20. How old am I now? 34 now. So yeah.
Had to think about it
though. I did. Yeah, I always forget after you get to after 30. I don't know. I always forget hard to remember how old I actually am.
Yeah, I was saying I'm turning 34 in July, and there's the alliteration of 33 sounds nice, but 34 just sounds old.
It does sound really old, doesn't it? Flipping at 30 said I'm looking a bit red. Need some sun cream on. That's what happens when you spend the last 2 days at the beach, mate. And I think it's I think it's the camera. I am looking pretty dashing, mate, if I do say so myself.
I've got bad lighting in my room today, but it's not a lot I can do about it. Mate, I'm in the loft of my house where all the insulation is on the walls either side of me, so it's like at least 40 degrees in my studio. It's so hot.
Yeah, it's been scorching the last few days. Absolutely boiling. Our houses are not geared up for it.
Rosita came up here to say hello. She was here for 5 minutes and she got dizzy and had to leave. I was like, yeah, I'm sat here soaked through my t-shirt.
You need to get a decent fan up there.
Yeah, I've got an AC that's in our room. I might just buy another one of those and put it in here. Yeah,
you get those really good. There's some really good Shark ones at the minute. They're long, vertical ones. And they're supposed to be really, really good, but they're not cheap. They're like 250 quid or something.
Yeah, I think the AC unit I got was about 250 quid, but it's decent. They work. It's quite loud, but it becomes white noise eventually, doesn't it? You just tune it out.
Exactly. Nice little business expense, mate, for the office.
Yeah, exactly. I can see Neelan and Craig in the chat. Welcome, boys. Welcome. How are you today?
Doing.
Says we've got 50 viewers across all of our platforms, which is interesting to see. I don't know if I believe that, but it's good to see. Welcome. Let us know where you're watching from, everyone. We're live across lots of platforms today.
We better talk about something interesting then, I suppose.
Yeah. Welcome to... we got a YouTube commenter. Hello. Welcome to the live. Hello. You guys all having a good day today? Craigie Boy just said, hey guys, just making the most of the sun. Yeah, that's a fair shout, mate.
I thought the thing is really quiet. Surely everyone, I don't know, you'd want to be outside as much as possible today, wouldn't you?
You say that, but I've got pasty Irish complexion, so if I go out in this, I literally catch fire like Dracula.
Is there a way to see Instagram comments on
there is not. Not in a way I've been able to figure out. I've got Instagram on my screen over here, and I've got StreamYard over here and TikTok over here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I'll minimize this a little bit so I can have Insta there and then TikTok here.
Someone said, "Can you say 67?" And I'm guessing you mean 67. So there you go, 67. Hello, I'm new. Welcome to the live. So, how do you pronounce the name? Madeline Rosa. Welcome to the live. Ayush. Oh my God, I'm so bad with names. I apologize to the person on YouTube who said hello. I can't pronounce your name. Welcome to the live. Thank you for joining. Swimmer Jace, who asked me to say 6'7", said yay. So to give you guys context, right, we are live in lots of different platforms. Seller Smart has been building an ecosystem for Amazon FBA sellers for the last 2+ years. I've been selling since 2023. Sam, you were 2021?
21, yes, mate.
Yeah, 21. So we go live as often as we can. I used to say every day, but I have no idea how people can go live every day unless it's their only job. But yeah, we go live every day, every so often to help people as much as possible with Amazon FBA. One thing we like to do with our live calls, I don't know if you guys watch any other creators in the space. We don't just want to give you abstract, vague information. We want to tell you actionable things that you can take away and hopefully apply to make some money. So do let us know in the comments, wherever you're watching from. Do let us know if you have any questions. Sam and I have a list of talking points that we can go over. So we'll give you guys some updates over the last week of what's been happening in Seller Smart, and then we'll just rail off your questions when we see them. And then we can go to our trustworthy talking notes. So Sam, what's Amazon been like for you the last week so far?
It's been hit and miss, to be honest. When the weather comes out, sales drop massively. For me anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's like the same across the board, just because people tend to not be at home so much. They're out and about, they're busy, so they're just not on their phones, laptops, computers, whatever, ordering stuff. And then the evening sort of picks up a little bit when people are sort of back home. But for me, yeah, it's been a bit quiet. The obviously sun coming out, everyone wants to make the most of that. Unless you're selling a load of summer stuff like swimming pools, fans, and all that sort of stuff, then yeah, I think it does get a bit quieter. Or unless you're just doing like heavy consumable sort of items. But yeah, it's been okay. It's been not. I can't complain anyway. Not too shabby. Spend's still not there, but hopefully pick up soon.
Any updates from Amex about your limits?
Nah, nothing. They haven't got back to me. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Hopefully they'll respond soon. But yeah, at the minute I haven't really heard anything from them, which is a bit frustrating.
Fair enough. ASG666 said, "Hi, best way to prep for VAT reg for wholesale if not claiming back VAT on purchases?" Very specific question.
Say that again. Sorry.
Hi, best way to prep for VAT registration for wholesale if not claiming back VAT on purchases. ASG, I just want to confirm, have you got up to the 90K threshold, or are you registering for VAT because you want to get into wholesale straight away? I just want to clarify that, because you don't want to register for VAT until you have to. When you're preparing for VAT, so we teach the arbitrage model where we tell people to set their seller amp settings to VAT registered as early as possible. We actually, I would even say, start with those settings enabled, just so you get used to sourcing early. And you need to talk to your accountant about claiming VAT back. So if you're selling stock that has, like coffee has 5% VAT, Johnny's have no tax on them. If you're selling stuff like that, you actually potentially will get refunds on your tax returns, but you need to talk to your accountant about that. Would you add anything extra to that, Sam?
No, I think that's the main thing. I don't think there's anything else. I think, yeah, like you said, speak to your accountant. The accountant's going to be able to advise everything you can and can't do. But I think, yeah, the main thing is just making sure you got all the invoices for everything you purchased while VAT registered, because if you've still got it in stock when you move over to VAT reg, you can claim back the VAT for all of it. So I think that's super important. So just, yeah, to make sure you're doing that. That's going to be the most beneficial thing. And I think most Amazon sellers on like their first VAT return, it always ends up being a VAT refund, just because you end up having a load of stock on hand, which they purchased when they weren't VAT reg, so they can offset that, which is good.
We're getting some smashing hate comments on YouTube. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hold on. So I'm going to read out the ones I can read out. You guys smell like homosexuals. Shows the intelligence of this guy. He can't even spell it right. Extra gay, those noses. extra gay bags. Say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. There you go. Or there you go, rather, over there. I love it. Thank you for the comments, my friend. Neelan said, same here, Sam. I thought it was just mine. And ASG said, not hit the threshold yet, but you're near. Yeah, you're getting prepared for it before you get there, which is the right thing to do. If you don't have an accountant at that threshold, I would suggest getting one. You want to get an accountant as soon as you can. And just really make sure that every single product you're selling, this is true for everyone watching this, make sure that your VAT codes are correct on your listings. You don't want to be paying VAT on products where VAT isn't chargeable. And equally, you need to make sure you claim I think, Sam, you can correct me. I think Amazon is going to charge you VAT on fees for products that aren't VAT-able. So you do need to register that with your accountant so you can claim that back.
You just need to make sure you change the listings and make sure the listings are edited to show what the exact VAT code is. Because like you say, if you sell something which is 0% VAT rate.
You saw his comment, didn't you?
If you sell something which is 0% VAT rated, but you've got as a standard rate 20% on there, you will have to pay the 20% VAT from a HMRC point of view, even though the product isn't VAT rated, but just because you have advertised it as that. So yeah, I think that's the main important thing. Make sure you are changing that. I think that's it really.
Glenn Lacey, welcome to the live. Thank you for the laughy faces. I'm guessing you are laughing at that. Rod, you said, how do you guys get so much wiener in your mouth? Practice, mate. Lots of years of practice. Afternoon, guys. How do you go about doing managing sourcing costs and keep them updated and keep on top of them for reimbursements? John, you need a system, mate. So our software is going to cover a lot of that. So be sure to sign up to the wait list. We have a free purchase tracking spreadsheet if you don't already have a spreadsheet. I used to use an automated Airtable database. I don't think the one I started on is available anymore, but we had a custom one that we made. You need a system, boss. As I say, our software is going to be there. When it does come out, our software is going to help with all of that, but you need something in the interim. Sam, what would you recommend in the meantime?
I guess there's two ways of doing it, right? I never know what screen I'm looking at. There's two ways of doing it, right? So what I do, I've got my VA and she updates all my sourcing costs on a daily basis. So every time a sourcing cost needs to be updated, she will go in and update that. A lot of the time they get rejected. When they get rejected, depending if they ask for proof or invoice or something like that, we'll submit an invoice, or we'll just try and reduce that amount ever so often, just to try and get the highest possible change on it. So whenever we do get reimbursements, we are getting it for the max amount they will give us. If you obviously that takes a lot of time. If you don't have that time, then I would what would I do? So every time you need to claim a reimbursement. So let's say you've got stock which is customer returned and you want to get reimbursed because it's damaged or whatever it is, or you've got stock which has been missing in your shipment and you want to get reimbursed for that. So just before you raise the case with Amazon to get reimbursed, just go into your sourcing costs and then try and manage it, and then just do it for that one particular SKU you're planning to get reimbursed for. So that will help for that. The only problem is that won't help when you do get the odd random reimbursements here and there, because you don't really know they're coming. That's not always going to be at a decent cost, because it's just going to use whatever's in the whatever Amazon thinks it is, without you having to adjust it. So
Sorry, I was just going to add on as well. Don't just trust the reimbursement portal. It does miss stuff. Sam and I actually tested this, didn't we, a while ago? And it misses loads of them.
Yeah, it does. Definitely misses a lot. So you want to stay on top of that. But yeah, I guess two options depending on how much time you have. Either do it yourself every time you need to add a sourcing cost on there, or just do it as and when you need to get reimbursed.
Yeah, and it can be part of your routine. So you can make this like weird. What's happened to my camera on YouTube? What's going on? Just make it part of your routine. So once a week you can do this. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. and you do save money doing it yourself. It's not that challenging. What is going on? Fowler's Empire. Hi, Sean and Sam. Welcome to the live. Thank you for joining. How much is a good accountant ballpark figure, like mid-tier accountant? We work with Smartly with a Z. If you sign up to Smartly and say Seller Smart sent you, you get 50 quid off your first month. It is worth paying for a good accountant because a bad one will cost you so much more in the long run. And you want to have an accountant that is e-commerce specialized, because high street accountants are not going to know how complicated Amazon is. So that's who we work with. Okay, let me go to the YouTube comments.
I don't think you need to, mate.
What's up, Gam? I don't even know what that word is. What's this talk about? The talk is about Amazon FBA, my friend. That guy is a funny troll. I'm going to try and fix my camera. You talk about something.
Yeah. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to fire away. But yeah, we're here to talk about Amazon FBA and mainly online arbitrage. So me and Sean do online arbitrage. So if you've got any questions, feel free to fire away. John said, thanks guys. Have you managed to get seller support to override a low sourcing cost, which keeps being denied or is way off your cost? That is unlikely. Yeah, I have, mate. It's rare, to be honest. Like, the only times I really managed to get them to do it is if the sourcing cost is way out. And let's say the product costs like 50 quid and they gave me like a £4 reimbursement. Because that is so far out, I've managed to get that amended most of the time. But when there's like, I don't know, if it's say 50 quid and you get 40 quid back, the chance of them going up is very slim. Like, it just doesn't really happen. It's only when it's such a huge gap is when it really when you can really make a difference and get reimbursed. Otherwise, it's a bit of a struggle, to be honest with you. I'm just going to shut the door.
John Williams said, thanks guys. Have you managed to get seller support to override a low sourcing cost which keeps being denied, or is there a way your cost, or is way off your cost? Yeah, that happens all the time, mate. So you have. Okay, my bad. Sorry, I was trying to fix my camera.
You got a different view on it.
Yeah. Okay. Do your VAs find a lot of 50 plus sales per month? I'm having difficulty with velocity. This person's asking a genuine question now. Yeah, our VAs can. Typically, we say 30 sales per month as a minimum. That's what we recommend going for. If you want to do 50, you can, absolutely. I don't know though. Like, Sam does 2 million a year and he does 30. I do know some people that only focus on 50 sales per month and then they end up not hitting their spend target. So it's to each their own, I guess. Let me just try and fix my camera. I'll leave it to you, Sam.
To give you an example, my VAs today, they found deals at 13 sales, 37, 20, 20, 47, 61. So there's out of 6 deals, they found 2. Well, no, one was 47. So one was above that. The day before was 27, 16, 10, 41, 27, 26, 17, 500, 100, 48, 175, 32. So yeah, they're on the lower end, but the other day they found, what's this one? There's 50, 50, 44, 49. There's more sort of 50s, 30s. So yeah, they're not like, none of them are massively selling, to be honest with you. But it doesn't really bother me too much. I don't really mind the sales per month that much. I think as long as I don't really mind the sales per month that much, to be honest. It doesn't really bother me. It's good to have a good mix of different ones. I think as long as the profit is good, then that's all I really care about, to be honest. I think when it starts to get like around 20 sales per month, then that's a bit of an issue. But yeah, 30, 40 and all that is, it doesn't really bother me. So I'm not destined to go for 50 sales per month.
I had to reset my browser, but my camera looks like it's come back. And unfortunately, it's cleared all the comments that I was enjoying reading there. One of them's popped through again.
The camera was fine this end anyway.
Oh, okay, it was showing disconnected on my side.
Well, I could sit on StreamYard and it was all right.
Interesting. Fair enough. Okay, right. So who have we got in the live? We got Neelan, Glenn Lacey, Fowlers said hello to you guys. We did go live at a certain weird time of day, I suppose. No, we didn't. It's lunchtime. What time? What point in your business did you get an accountant, Sam?
Straight away. As soon as I became a limited company, I got one straight away.
Yeah, I did it as well. It's one of those expenses that's worth it in the long run. And like a lot of people don't realize, when you get an accountant, you have to pay for them for the whole period they work on, not just the month you hire them. So if you're going to have to pay them,
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so if you're going to have to pay for them anyway, you may as well pay for them early and get their advice and support along the way. That's how I see it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you're going to pay, you need to pay that fee, whether you pay it in small monthly sums or you pay it at the end anyway. So you might as well pay in small monthly sums. It's easier, better for cash flow. And then it's also, you can ask them questions throughout the year as well, which if you weren't doing that, then you couldn't already ask any accountants questions. So it makes sense just to get one. Yeah, as soon as you come limited, it's worth getting one.
Flippy Kaye said, "What's your min profit per item?" I changed mine a while ago. I don't like to sell anything that sells for less than £20 cost of goods. Sorry, not cost of goods, £20 sale price. I personally like to aim for £2 to £3 minimum profit with a 15% profit margin. So I actually go by profit margin, not ROI. Sam, yours is £1, right? £1 and 20%.
I don't really care too much. Minimum profit doesn't really bother me at all. It's like minimum ROI, minimum profit, minimum sales per month. None of that really bothers me. For me, it's all about the minimum ROI margin for me. Like, it can sell. I can make 50p per unit as long as it sells like thousands of times. Then that doesn't bother me, and I'm happy with that. And again, profit doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me. It's all about the ROI. Like, the lower the profit, the higher the ROI I want it to be. Or equally, if we're looking at like, even like with slow sellers, like if something sells like 5 times a month, again, that doesn't bother me. But I want to be making decent profit every time I get a sale. I'm not going to be buying something which sells 5 times a month, but I'm going to make like £2 profit on the sale, because it's just not worth it for me. When I buy something which is selling like 5 times a month, I want to make like £100 plus profit per unit which sells, and then that way it's just worth it. And that's how I look at it. So the slower the selling, the listing, the more profit per unit I want to make. And then, yeah, I don't care too much. Like, if it makes me money, it makes me money. Whether the profit's 50p but it's super fast, then I'm not too fussed, if I'm honest. But I think my main criteria, the only thing I really look for is minimum ROI margin. I want a minimum ROI of 20% and ideally minimum margin of around 10%. And if it fits around that, then I'm pretty happy. Every listing is completely different as well. Like, I don't think having a rigid criteria is really the right thing to do. You want it to be super flexible, because every listing is so different.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I review it differently when I look at wholesale leads as well. So, you know, as you said, if the product is selling thousands of times a month and you're only getting like 60p profit per sale, that still has additional benefits. So the fast sales can benefit your account. It can increase your IPI, your account health, and things like that. So you have to gauge it case by case. When it comes to OA, personally, I like to go for £2 plus profit where possible. Okay, right. So what have we done in the last week? So we had a lot of issues with one of the suppliers that we were working with in our mentorship. So the issues were just getting leads and then the leads being taken too quickly. We have had conversations with the suppliers that we're working with, and we're making sure that any leads to the people in our mentorship from wholesale, authorized wholesale distributors, we're making sure they're exclusive to our group first. We'll buy out their whole stock, and then it can pass out to other people afterwards. That's what we're trying to do. So we had issues with one of the suppliers with that, but we were able to resolve that. We're still waiting on the first set of orders to come through. So most of them had 2 to 3 weeks lead times. So we're still waiting for a lot of the orders to come through. But we're really excited to see where this opportunity goes, because once it's integrated into the software, it's going to be very, very good. Packdov, hi, welcome to the live.
I've got a good lead from the wholesale. I'm just trying to have a little look and see how well it's doing. I've sold loads of them today. Absolutely loads of them. I had 500.
Is that the one that you were having issues with? That it got resolved?
That hasn't been resolved. But I was going to message you about that. But so let's have a look. I bought 500 and I've had them in stock for, let's have a look, 11 days, and I've sold 263 of them so far.
Very good.
So yeah, I haven't got a lot left, and they've gone super quick.
The supplier told me for the 2 leads he sent me, he said the bought in the last month was an underestimate. He said he thought it was a lot higher than that, and judging by your sales data, I would say it sounds like it was factual.
I don't know. It sells. SAS is saying it sells 900 times a month. I've sold 263 in 11 days, so it's pretty accurate. And no one's really been on the buy box. Like, I have absolutely dominated that buy box. I don't think. Let's have a look.
What's your profit per unit on that one?
So idiots keep tanking it. It was £4, and now it's down to £2.20. They're just same idiot. It's just crashing it because you can't win the buy box. So I've now got 33% share of the buy box in 11 days. The last person who won the buy box was 7 hours ago, and a few people have won it since then, but not for very long. I've just completely dominated. There's one seller who's literally it was at £24, and he just crashed it all the way down to 21, and he's still not winning the buy box. So I bet he feels pretty stupid.
What a pleb. He needs to just be patient, doesn't he? Stay at buy box price and be patient.
Exactly. There's no reason to do what he's just done, but I'm still making profit, so I'm not giving up the buy box anytime soon.
Flippy Kaye said, "What can I do with an ORF claim but I bought from abroad?" Where the place that you bought them from, the supplier that you bought from them from, are they legit? Are they definitely authentic products? Because you can just provide the invoice of the supplier. But yeah, you need to make sure where you bought it from was legit. Like if it was a major retailer in the US, then you probably will be fine. If it was a major wholesaler in the US, you probably will be fine. But if it's from somewhere random, might be tricky.
Yeah, it's the same. It doesn't matter where you buy it from. It's the same process for everything. You need to provide invoices. Without invoices, you're not going to get anywhere. So I think as long as you've got a decent invoice, then you shouldn't really have any issues. But yeah, that's the main thing you want to understand. God.
Kidoki. Well, what else has been going on the last couple of weeks? So we've had the wholesale updates. You are going to go to film in a podcast studio for the new course videos, right? When is that happening?
Yeah, they've been messing me about a bit, but I've managed to finally get a slot for Friday. So yeah, Friday morning I'll be going there to. I'll be going to I'll be going to record some content for the new course, so that should be good. It should be out, pretty soon.
Very cool. Yeah. So to everyone out here who doesn't realize, we have a paid Amazon FBA course, but we realized with the back end data of what videos people were watching, we realized people just wanted sourcing videos. So we're going to redo a new course that's going to be cheaper. We're going to sell it for £250, and it covers everything you need to know about sourcing for Amazon arbitrage, A to A, and even EU A to A is going to be on it as well. So I hope you guys like that when it's out. Hopefully, should be next week. I've got a few videos that I need to record for that as well, actually.
Looking forward to getting that out. It should be good.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things where like Amazon is not for everyone, but we really want to get as many people to try it as possible. If they try it and like it and stick with it, then that's fantastic. More people are likely to work with us. But people, from what we gather, most people don't know where to start. So that's what we're hoping to do with the sourcing course. Allow people to just cheaply figure out how to actually start making money.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be good. It's definitely a good starting point if you've gone from don't know anything to wanting to learn. I think it will help out. It'll help out massively.
Elliot said, "Heard A to A during Prime Day is so difficult to source the correct products."
No, not really.
I was going to say Prime Day is where you spend the most money on 8A, so I don't know where you're hearing that from.
Depends what you mean. Like, what do you mean the correct products? It depends what you mean. Like products which won't be tanked and like loads of sellers jump on. Like there's nothing you can do to stop that. You don't know what people are buying and what they're not buying and what they're seeing and stuff like that. So for me, it's just low value stuff. Like I just wouldn't buy any low value products under like £15 and below, or even £20-30, because they're the ones, not so much 30, I suppose, like £20 below. They're the ones which should always go terribly. But there's no, I don't know. I guess elaborate a little bit more what you think the correct sort of products are.
So he said, I've just heard everyone goes to the same deal page and loads of people buy the same products and it becomes saturated.
It's same with anything, mate. Like you talk about like Black Friday, certain websites, retailers have the same offer every single Black Friday and people do the same thing. Like that's just Amazon and that's just arbitrage. Like it's just how it is. As long as you manage the risk, then you'll be okay. Like if you're gonna buy something, you just need to understand, right, if I'm buying this, I might have to hold it for a month or 2 months. Just don't expect it to sell straight away. But I don't know. I think the ones doing it manually, I don't think you have as much of an issue. I think the more times you have an issue is when you're in a Discord group and they are just sending everything through. Because if everyone's just buying that, then yeah, all of those are going to get saturated. But if you're doing it manually, a lot of the Discord groups miss some of those products. Don't get me wrong, they get a lot of them, but there is some they miss on there. So you're going to have that advantage if you do it manually, and you're not going to have so many people sort of jumping on the listings. But it's all about understanding what you're going to get into and managing your risk. If you see a listing which sells 100 times a month, don't just buy 50 of them, because if everyone else is doing that, then yeah, you're going to be stuffed. So just try and go as wide as possible, just so you're not tying up so much capital on a certain number of products.
Yeah, and as Sam said, just be prepared to hold your stock for a couple of months. Sometimes, not every time. As well, what I like to do with a lot of 8A, if you get a good opportunity and you think it's going to become saturated and the price recovers quickly, try and sell it FBM without having to send it into FBA. If you can sell it quickly with FBM, before FBA sellers even go live, that's one way that you can get ahead. Obviously, that only works if you've got a certain amount of stock. But typically with 8A, the faster sellers are good ones. And yeah, there's loads of different ways to do 8A. It's not just lead, service groups and keeper deals. There's loads of ways to do it. So as Sam said, if you can do it manually, you're going to find a lot that other people miss.
Yeah, for sure.
Flippy Kaye said Zon is not taking as they can't confirm. Flippy Kaye, we have a Amazon account recovery expert in our team. It is a paid service, but if you want help with that auth claim, you can raise a ticket in the server and have a chat with him. He has not lost a single case the entire time we've been working with him. So if you want to, you can. The alternative is that you leave the auth claim on your account for 6 months. It will hurt your account health, but you don't want to accept an authenticity complaint ever. So you could leave it on your account sat there for 6 months, and after 6 months, it will disappear. A lot of the people I chat to prefer to get it removed, but it's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you, whichever way you'd like to go. I can't really think of what else to suggest other than provide the invoice, provide as much evidence as you can, show bank statements to validate the invoice. Usually I would say to just repeatedly keep trying until it gets accepted. But Sam actually had this issue the other day where they only allowed him to appeal 3 times?
Yeah, but that's gone now, weirdly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was. They said you can use one of your 3 attempts to get this ungated, get this authenticity complaint removed, which I think is a bit of a liberty from them. Like, I don't need 3 attempts. I only need 1. But Amazon needs the 3 attempts just to actually read the document properly and realise that is authentic. So it's a bit of a liberty by them, to be honest with you. But it's very similar to the ungating process. It's just trying to spam it as much as possible. Like I had one for Estee Lauder recently, and I had to I think I sent it like 17 times or something before they finally approved it, and I just sent the same information over and over and over again. So the information I sent over to them, it was the copy of the invoice. It was what else was it? A copy of the invoice, copy of a bank statement making that transaction, and it was another Google document which just listed out the supplier and all of their information and links to where to find them. So there's a link to Company's House, there's a link to loads of different, like their website and all sorts of things, and then just submitted that as one document, merged it all together, and then just kept spamming that over and over and over again. And yeah, eventually they looked at it. So it was just a case of being spammy as hell with it, and they finally worked.
Elliot said, so in position where I've just started out and only been doing sourcing OA, should I do A to A Prime Day? How much cash do you have, Elliot? Because if you don't have a lot of capital, then probably not. Maybe OA might be better, but you could give it a go. You could pick 1 or 2 products and just test it and see how it works for you. But again, it depends on how much cash you have, because you don't want to tie up your capital for 2 to 3 months if you're just starting and you have limited cash. Ideally, you want to buy arbitrage products that you can resell and recycle your cash flow quicker. £800. Yeah, okay. I personally wouldn't bother then. What about you?
Nah, you're going to tie up your money too much, mate. I think if you're 800 quid, your best bet is to try and do RA. If you can do RA, I think that is going to be the best bet for you, because you can stretch your money out as much as possible doing that. You can find super high ROI products, which not everyone is going to have access to, because RA is very dependent on sort of location. So yeah, I would, if I was you, and then you've got some time, definitely look at RA, because I think that will make you a lot more money than anything else.
Yeah, anyone out there who has less than £1,000, retail arbitrage is pretty much one of the only options you have. We do recommend starting with at least £1,000. More is better. But you just bear in mind, when you do RA, when you do retail arbitrage, you are still going to have to spend money on ungating, because you won't be able to use retail receipts. So when you find good deals, just remember that you're going to have to find an ungate for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mate, I am cooking in this room. Oh.
Yeah, I've got the sun blitzing through the window next to me.
All right, let me bring up some talking points. You haven't asked me any questions, actually. Why didn't you ask me a question, Sam?
Okay, what's a challenge you faced in Seller Smart in the last week?
A challenge? I've been sick. I've been sick, and I've still been working, and it's been really hard to do that. Like, I had so much work I needed to do over the weekend, and I couldn't stay awake yesterday. I was just sleeping all day. So that's like a personal thing I've had to challenge. It's tricky, isn't it? When you've got like, business owners don't really get sick days, but sometimes you have to take a rest. So I've been trying to find a good balance with that. When it comes to Seller Smart Challenge as a business, because we've gotten so much busier, communication internally in the team has gotten really quite bad. Like, Sam and I both have experienced this, where we're sending the same messages quite a few times, not really getting a response. And it's not any individual's fault. It's just because we're so busy. But that's a problem that we needed to have a team discussion about to try and resolve. So instead of sending loads of messages on Discord, hoping for an answer that probably won't come, what we're doing now instead is we're updating our Kanban with pending tasks. We're associating a deadline to it and assigning it to an individual. And then if Sam and I, if our tasks are blocked and we can't progress them until someone else has done part of the task, that will go into a blocker column, and hopefully that will resolve the issue of internal communication messages getting missed because everyone's busy. I think we're in that phase of our business where there's a lot of meetings happening, which I saw the other day. Hormozy was saying the 3 cycles of a business owner is no meetings, too many meetings, and then no meetings again, depending on the stage you're at. And we're at the lots of meetings stage.
Yeah, certainly are. Flippy Carrier, what's your view on Amazon loans? I think they're great depending on the situation and position your business is in. Like I think with an Amazon loan, you want to spend that money as quickly as possible because you're paying that loan back very quickly, almost within like 2 weeks to a month. You're going to start repaying some of that loan back. So yeah, if you're getting a loan, you want to know exactly what you're going to be buying with that loan, and you want that loan gone like in the first week or two, realistically, just to really make use of the full amount before you have to start repaying it. And I think with a loan, I think your business needs to be in a consistent position. You need to be consistently doing the same amount of turnover or profit on a month-to-month basis for the last couple of months. And you need to be getting consistent disbursements from Amazon. So whether it's, I don't know, £500 a day or £1,000 a day, or I don't know, £2,000 a week or whatever that is, just so you know exactly how much is coming into your business on a weekly basis consistently, so you know how much you can actually afford to pay off the loan and how much money you're going to get. So we're right, I'm going to get £5,000 this month from Amazon. My loan is going to be £1,000 a month, so I know I can comfortably afford it. And yeah, work it out like that really. But I think they are very good methods of utilizing capital and growing and sort of scaling the business for sure. Like I wouldn't have scaled it to where I was if it wasn't for loans and credit cards and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's changed though, didn't it? They changed the loans. Was it a year or so ago where they used to be better? Now they're a bit more harsh on the revenue.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So when I first started, and for like the first sort of 2 years, you had Amazon loans, and that was an actual loan directly from Amazon. Whereas nowadays, I think they must have stopped like 3 years ago, where they've stopped doing Amazon direct loans, but they do it through a third party, and the third party is like was like ULend, I think, and then I think there's another one, and I just don't think they're as good. The interest rate's a lot higher. I think the way they do their repayments is different as well. So when it was an Amazon loan, you used to repay a set amount. I can't remember if it was every 2 weeks or once a month. But I think it was maybe once a month. But it was a set amount. So right, every month you're paying £5,000 to go towards the loan, and that was just standard. Whereas now, with ULend, I think they do it based on a percentage of your disbursements. So if you get a disbursement come through for £1,000, they're going to take like 5 or 10% of it or something to pay off the loan, and then they do it that way, which I don't think it's very good, because you could have like a really good week and then end up just taking loads of it to pay off the loan, and it's hard to really manage that. And it's hard to manage it. Whereas if you know you need to pay back £5,000 every single month, then it's a lot easier to manage your cash flow and work around that. Whereas if they just take a percentage every time you get disbursement, then it becomes a bit harder, and it's just a bit of a pain in the arse, really.
Do you think there's any credibility to the idea that people with big Amazon loans probably get more buy box time because Amazon will be hurting themselves if they don't?
No.
That's something I heard online, and I've never seen anyone show me that factually. Even big sellers I know have issues.
No, people like, obviously Amazon don't do loans anymore. Like all the loans are through third parties anyway. So I guess Amazon don't really know or have any understanding as to if you've got a loan out with ULend or how that's affects your business at all. So they won't see that. And I think before, when Amazon actually did do the loans, people were saying, oh, well, if I got an Amazon loan, Amazon are less likely to suspend my account or do this, that, and the other. But they're not. They don't care. Like, if you've done something wrong, they'll suspend your account. Whether you've got an Amazon loan with them or not, they don't care. Your accounts get suspended if you've done something wrong. Knowing how Amazon works, I don't think they really care that much about that sort of stuff. So I can't see it making any difference to buy box or anything like that.
Yeah, fair. What do you do? I just realized we're in the. I forgot to say we're in the good months of Amazon now, aren't we? We're fully out of Q1. We're back in the period where people have money again, except for the sunshine taking everyone outside. But Do you reckon people should start prepping for Q4 around August, October time?
It depends what sort of business model you do as well, right? Like for me, maybe end of August, September, I would prepare for it personally, because where I'm doing online arbitrage, there's not much I can do to prep for it now, because I have no idea what deals are going to come about before Q4. Like, I think it depends what stage you're at as well. Like, if you're on the newer side, it might be your first Q4 or your second Q4 or something like that. You might want to start looking at getting prep centers in place, because that will be a good one, because the units should increase massively coming up into Q4. So yeah, looking at prep centers and what options you've got there is going to be a good idea. Again, going on the loan thing or credit cards, you're going to be spending a lot more money. Is it worth speaking to a few loan companies? Is it worth getting credit cards ready and sorted in time for Q4? I think if you're doing wholesale brand direct stuff, you can definitely be a bit more prepared, because there's a bit more consistency there. But with online arbitrage, there's not really much you can do. Like for me, the only thing I'm really going to be doing to prepare for Q4 is just to download reports from the previous Q4s and then just see what worked, what didn't work, and then find out where all the offers and sales were and what days I spent the most amount of money and where I spent it. And hopefully that will sort of mimic for this Q4 as well. But that's something which doesn't really take very long, and you can do that, like end of August, sort of September time, really.
Flippy Kaye said, how do you manage cash flow? Daily disbursements, spending your capital by certain times. So like if your billing cycle starts on the 10th, you want to spend your cash on stock as quickly around that point as you can, whilst dispersing your money every day. Try to organize your expenses to come out at the same time every month. That's one a lot of people don't do. If you can do that, if you know like all of your expenses are coming out at the same time, it's a lot easier to plan. Anything else you would say?
No, I think disbursements is key. Try and get as many disbursements as possible on a sort of daily basis. And then it's just managing your spend, understanding exactly what your spend is. Because I speak to some people and they have no idea how much they're spending every single month. Like you want to be tracking your spend on a daily and monthly basis. You want to know exactly how much money you're spending, because you're gonna get a really good indication as to how well your cash flow is going to do. Like if you spend, I don't know, 20k a month consistently, if you've suddenly spent like 10, 15k in the first week of the new month, then you're thinking, okay, well, I've spent shitloads here. This is obviously going to affect my cash flow. So you know what to do to try and reduce it, or to try and adapt to what you're purchasing. Don't just buy like higher selling products, faster selling products, or higher ROI products, and not buy the lower end stuff. But I think getting the disbursements regularly is sort of the main thing you want to be doing, to be honest.
Okay, when do you actually need to register for VAT? So we were talking about that earlier, but VAT registration is something you want to do when you get to that 90,000 threshold. So in the UK, value-added tax is seen as this tax as one that you pass on to customers. Unfortunately for Amazon sellers, it does affect your margin. It does bring your margin down slightly. So it's not as bad as it used to be, because everyone pays VAT on fees now. Before they used to profit shift it to Luxembourg, but they've been disallowed from doing that. So you don't want to register for VAT earlier than you need to. 90,000 is the threshold. And by that point, you absolutely should be using an accountant. You want to use an accountant as early as you can. It's one of the chapters in your business. Don't see it as something you can't overcome. I've spoken to so many people, and I've spoken to accountants who tell me they lose a lot of business from Amazon sellers when they hit VAT reg, and it really doesn't need to be that way. Like as long as you're preparing your SellerAmp SaaS settings in advance, you get used to sourcing, you get good at sourcing, and then potentially you even look into products that aren't 20% VAT. There's so many different things you can do to offset the cost of it. So it's just part of the journey. If you give up when you hit VAT, in my opinion, you're giving up just as it's getting started. I know that sounds a bit cliche, but it's true. Like, it's just one stage in your journey.
Yeah, there's honestly no point in giving up when you get to that reg. Like, it's marginally more difficult. If anything, the admin's a bit more, but that's about it. Like, it's if you're planning to just stop once you get to that point, then it's just, what's the point? Like, you want to strive to do better and more than that, right? So yeah, I think yeah, it's just a minor obstacle. After a month or so, you sort of forget it even it's even a thing.
My camera's frozen again, and I actually think it's overheating in this room. That's mad.
It's fine on TikTok, but yeah, on StreamYard, it's frozen. Not seeing anything at all.
Yeah, that's mental. It's overheating. That's why it's cutting out.
It's too hot, mate. Get that aircon.
I do. If it's gonna make my crap not work, let me just refresh the page.
Strip it from Rosa, mate. Pregnant ladies and don't need aircon in this heat. Your mic's gone now. Oh no, it's because I muted you on TikTok. That's probably why. But yeah, any other questions? Feel free to fire away. I want nothing on my TikTok side. They normally come on Sean's side. But if anyone's in here and you're not aware, we do have a free Discord group. So definitely check that out. We've got over about 1,500 people in there. So yeah, there's loads of free resources in the Discord group. Anything from purchase sheets. We've got retailer lists, like the top 200 sort of retailer lists you want to use. I think there's more than 200 on there. We've got auto on gate spreadsheet on there with about 1,300 different brands, of which hopefully are sort of auto on gates. They obviously won't all work, but there's a huge majority of them will. So it's definitely worth having a look at that. We've also got a free academy, free course in there, which is pretty basic, pretty simple, but it helps you get started. If you're in a position where you don't really know much about anything, then I can definitely recommend watching that because it's going to give you lots of help. And then we also do, we've got Prep Smart, so we've got a prep center. So if anyone needs help prepping their products to get something to Amazon, FBA, FBM, reach out to us. We can help you there. And what else have we got? We have also got Recruit Smart. So if anyone needs VAs, whether that's sourcing or admin VAs, yeah, definitely reach out to us as well. We can help you get some VAs in place. And lastly, we do have a mentorship and a course as well. So if anyone is at a position where they want to start, scale, grow their sort of Amazon business, then definitely reach out because we can help you there. We've worked with loads of different people. A few people who've never even set up an Amazon seller account before, all the way up to people who are doing like 100K a month, and almost anyone in between as well. So yeah, doesn't really matter what stage you're at. Reach out to us if you need some help, and we can definitely look at that.
Yo, sorry, I'm back.
No, good, all good. Working?
Yeah, it's just overheating. So I think I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to get an AC in here, which, oh no.
It's all right. Business expense, mate. Easy.
Yeah, exactly. How long have I got you today? How long are you about for?
What's the time now? It is 1:30. Be about for another hour at max.
Yeah, nice. Do you have the clicker yet? Did that arrive?
No, it hasn't. I was thinking about that when we first started it. I don't know where it is. I'm having a look now. I've not even had any email notifications to see where it's at. I've had one to say it's been dispatched, but that was ages ago.
I'm wondering, I think YouTube might have the same clicking the heart thing. So I'm wondering how we're going to
Oh, really?
How to spread it across all the platforms. Anyone in here? Do you have any chat? Do you have any questions so far? So Glenn, Lacey, Mo, Lewis, welcome to the live. Anyone have any questions? I can keep going through the talking points.
It's in transit, apparently. Let's see. When it's due. It's with every, so God knows when it will come.
Do you know what? I've never once had an order issue with Every, and yet I've had loads with Royal Mail, and yet you'd think it would be the other way around, wouldn't you?
Royal Mail been okay, Every been horrific, and Yodel pretty bad as well.
I use Yodel for eBay on everything just because it's so cheap.
Yeah, I did for a long time. I used it because it was a lot cheaper. It was like £1 cheaper than Royal Mail for posting sort of small parcels, but I had too many issues with them, so I just sacked it off and then just used Royal Mail now instead and just paid the difference.
Max, welcome to the live. You said A to A or OA, what's better? We do about a 50-50 split. The thing is, mate, we see OA and A to A as the same model because you can do both without taking up too much time. A to A doesn't take up a huge amount of your time. So depending on the amount of cash you have, it's a really good idea to do both. If you have less than £2,000, maybe arbitrage is the one to focus on for now. When you have more cash, do both of them. Even EU A to A as well. Just enable your European marketplace settings in SellerAmp SaaS. And yeah, just give it a go. But expect to hold your stock a bit more in UK A to A if you try it. Glenn Lacey said, think it all depends on delivery driver, not the company. Yeah, 100%. We've actually got some juicy marketing gossip to tell you guys about something with that soon, but we're waiting to find out the outcome of the investigation. But we've got a really cool video that we're going to post about dodgy delivery driver. I won't go into too much detail yet, but you can probably imagine. But yeah, that'll be fun to do a video on.
They're always at it. Like even the prep center I use, they've got some dodgy guys, and there's a huge scandal with some Romanian, like little dodgy gang of them working for Every, I think, and they stole like millions and millions of pounds worth of parcels. And I'm pretty sure they're working in like the sort of north area, and I'm pretty sure they were working on a few like my prep center's routes because there was certain Every parcels which were just missing so much, and it was an absolute nightmare. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it was down to those guys as well. They are dodgy as anything, some of those drivers.
I've heard I heard that guy from Pakistan stole more than £1 million worth of stock and sent it all back home. I heard that. I hadn't heard the Romanian one.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, was that? Did he work for? Was it Royal Mail he worked for?
Can't remember.
But yeah, he stole loads, and then all the money and stuff he just sent back to his country, didn't he? I wonder what actually happened to him. But yeah, the Romanian one was like, I don't know, it must have been a year ago, maybe. Was when it was all happening. I saw it all in the news and stuff like that. But yeah, they stole millions and millions of pounds worth of stuff.
Mental. Max, fair enough. Mainly using manual sourcing with Keeper at the moment for both A to A and OA. Yeah, use SellerAmp and Keeper. Use both, and try a bit of storefront sourcing with SellerAmp as well, just to learn what brands other people are selling. But yeah, definitely we do both. That's what our strategy is: OA, A to A, and EU A to A. Although all of the EU A to A I've ever done has been with the software that we've developed in-house. Lewis2246, are you still selling? Yeah, so Sam's sales results that you can see on the screen, those are the last 12 months. So you can see he's still selling. The only reason I'm not selling right now is because I have a Section 3. My claim is pending Amazon's review right now, so hopefully it should get resolved. I was meant to start selling. So I took a pause from selling to build SellerSmart. Because I do social media and I'm the face of the company, obviously I have to sell. I don't want to feel like a grifter online. I was meant to start selling again ages ago, but I had the Section 3. We have authorized distributor relationships where they provide wholesale leads to people in our mentorship. So I'm the point of contact for that. So every day I'm getting these incredible leads that I can't sell. It's really annoying. So as soon as my Section 3 is done, I'm going to go back to selling again. Glenn Lacey, that's mad. Yeah, it is mad. It's like if you look historically at any country, when the economy is bad, crime goes up. It's just how it works. When people are struggling, people revert to crime more often. Or when there's no police presence, which in the UK there is no police presence anymore, of course, opportunistic thieves are going to take their chances, aren't they? It's what happens when you live in a spineless country like we do. The police have no power. My dad always used to tell me the police will never be there when you need them, but they'll always be there to catch you doing something bad. So he was like, don't break the law.
Yeah, it's mental though, isn't it?
It's true though, isn't it? I can't think of a time. Well, anyway, yeah, you go to places like Dubai where stealing has really serious consequences and it's just not a problem there.
Yeah, true. The punishments are just weak in the UK. They get slap on the wrist for most things. It's pathetic. There's nothing to deter people from doing anything wrong.
Yeah, my mate, my last job was a British transport police officer. He got his tooth knocked out by a crackhead who punched him in the face, and the guy had to pay him back £2 a month for 30 months and didn't get any prison time for knocking the tooth out of a policeman's face.
So that's mad, isn't it? Like,
mental.
Absolutely mad how you can, and it's like I don't actually know the ins and outs of it. Like that whole airport thing in Manchester, where those two guys sort of broke that woman's nose and got in a fight with them at the airport with police. And I'm like, surely how are they not like? And they're still, I don't think they're in prison, but like, how are they not in prison like almost immediately? Like, how can you just beat up a police officer and then just very little happen to you? It's just it's weak and it's pathetic from our country, to be honest.
It is. Glenn Lacey, yeah, no real consequences anymore. 100%. If there's no consequences, people are going to get increasingly opportunistic.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. There's nothing to stop you doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a sad time we live in at the moment, and I hope it turns around. I don't see it improving anytime soon, but our country's far too bureaucratic, isn't it? You can't really do anything without having to go through thousands of layers of approval, and everyone disagrees on everything. It's just very nuanced and complicated.
Yeah, it makes everything so difficult. Like I used to work in construction. We used to bid for these like multi-million-pound contracts and stuff like that, and the whole process is just so ridiculous and long, and it costs an absolute fortune. And you're spending like millions of pounds before you've even attempted to being close to starting the project. And it's just mental, and it happens on almost everything. Money just gets chucked away all the time in this country. It's insane.
My dad used to live near Hinkley Point, the nuclear power station they're building.
Yeah.
That's an absolute boondoggle of wasted taxpayer money.
That's one of the jobs I worked on, the company I worked on. And like HS2, like I worked...
That's exactly what Glenn Lacey just said, like HS2.
Yeah. I used to work for a company, and we were when I worked with them, doing bits on HS2, and it's just it's insane. Like the amount of money that thing is going to cost is just absolutely insane. And for like, how much of a difference is it really going to make? Like nothing. Like they call it high speed 2 because you get into London a lot quicker, but you don't really. Like you save maybe like 20 minutes off your journey or something like that. Like it's not even like a super fast train, and it's just the amount of money is just absolutely insane. They're just spunking on that. It's wild.
They're renationalising our rail network, aren't they? The plan for that's gone ahead, which is very interesting to see.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, which my mate has a master's degree in politics. He was actually telling me the system in the UK for trains is so crazy because we didn't actually privatize the train network properly. We privatized the profits, but we still nationalized the cost of it, according to him. Which is just that sounds so profoundly British, doesn't it, to do something that stupid?
Yeah, a lot of people in government and people making these decisions. I feel like they just, whatever decision they've made is just because it's going to benefit them in one way or another and no one else.
100%. Just means people will charge them more for any work as it becomes public money. 100%. Yeah, 100%. I have a mate who his partner used to audit public sector places. I can't say the place that she audited, but you can probably guess from what I'm going to say. They had a multi-million pound like fighter jet seat that where they ordered the wrong one, couldn't return it, and then were just using it as an office chair. So it was like a multi-million pound public money fighter jet seat that they were using as an office chair. And she said that it's just the public sector is just rife with that kind of stuff.
It's mad. So we obviously the construction company I work for, we used to have loads of contracts and jobs with local councils and government and stuff like that. And a lot of them were done on like a cost plus basis. So whatever it costs us to do the job, we then just chuck on a certain percent, and then that's our margin, and they just pay it. So it doesn't matter. There's no incentive for us to get everything for the cheapest possible price at all. We just buy it for whatever we buy it for, chuck the percent on top, and that's what they pay. So there's just no incentive to do the job for the cheapest possible and the best way to do it, because who cares? They're paying us the same regardless whether we buy it for £5 or £50. We're still getting that percentage, and that percentage on the £50 is going to be far greater than £5. So yeah, let's just do that. It's just it's mental.
It's kind of incentivized the wrong way, isn't it, at that point?
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
Flippy Kaye, sorry, you said just checked in relation to the auth claim and the invoices from Hong Kong.
I wonder where it's from. Is it Stalvana or something like that? If so, yeah, you're going to struggle there. You don't want to be buying from Stalvana. Anyone watching and listening to this, Stalvana is not somewhere you want to be buying from, because Amazon will not accept the invoices. They never have. I don't think they ever will. I think your best bet, depending where it is you've actually bought it from, you want to just leave it on your account. Don't accept it. Just leave it there. You can keep trying, keep submitting the invoices. If you then get the thing where you have to submit, you've only got like 3 chances to fight the IP, then I would probably just leave it and I wouldn't bother fighting it. I'll just leave it on your account for sort of 6 months and wait for it to drop off, I think.
Yeah, and if, as I said earlier, if you don't want to do that, you can talk to our account recovery expert, but it is a paid service, so just bear that in mind. We had someone struggling in our mentorship with an auth claim. He didn't want to leave it on his account, and our guy was able to get it removed within the same day. So it can work, but it just depends on what you want to go for. Glenn Lacey said, like the NHS needs to have someone to do a complete review of their procurement. 100%. Yeah, I've seen some horrifying stats of like NHS hospitals being charged £50 per ruler back when we used to use rulers. Heard
mad, isn't it?
Yeah, like, mental.
If someone you'd save millions and millions and millions of pounds if someone looked at it higher up and realised the stupid, dumb stuff people were doing.
But it's by design, though, isn't it? Like I think politicians made the NHS cripplingly inefficient on purpose, so it collapses, and then they can privatise it. It's just politicians doing whatever they can to line their own pockets, in my opinion.
Yeah, another mad thing at work as well. It probably happens in almost every business. But so the one I worked in, like they had a travel booking system. So if you ever had to travel for work, you would go via the travel booking system. If you wanted to buy rent a car, if you wanted to buy a train ticket, if you wanted to if you needed a hotel for the night, you'd all do it through this system. And I remember the train, I used to have to get train tickets from where I lived into London, and the cost was like twice as high using this travel booking system. And I'm like, why don't you just let me buy a train ticket for half the price, and then I will just expense it, and then you just send me that. And instead, now I'm spending twice as much to use this poxy little system, which doesn't benefit anyone. Like, what's the point in it? It just makes no sense. And they just do so much dumb stuff like that all the time. It's like you're just throwing away money here for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
There's an author of a book. I can't remember the author or the book, but he was saying profit in a business is kind of unnatural. And when businesses or organizations get bigger, people kind of lose sight that a business is there for profit. So even from like a political public sector position, people just get so flippant with spending money unnecessarily. It happens at scale apparently. Feel so bad I can't remember the author of the book, but it was a really interesting read about how when big organizations get big, they just become so flippant with spending money. And I saw the other day Google in a single year spent over 100 billion on AI credits, and loads of these companies are absolutely hemorrhaging money to try and push towards AI.
That's an insane amount of money.
Glenn Lacey said loads of people got accounts closed because of them, didn't they? That was regarding Stylevana. So people do get their accounts closed, and I think people did get their accounts closed with that. But if you know how to play the game with appealing, there's always something you can do. So I don't want anyone out here watching this to get really nervous that their account is going to get banned at any moment. As long as you're following the rules, there is always something you can do. And as I say, we have an account recovery expert who can help. I'm lucky, obviously, he's in our team, so he's dealing with my issue. But there is always something you can do, especially if you've made an honest mistake. Amazon are not going to ban your business for life on that. But you need to know how to play the game when talking to them, because anyone will tell you talking to Amazon support is a nightmare. You just need to know how to talk to them and what to say at what points. Glenn Lacey said it only gets noticed when profits go down and shareholders get impacted. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mentioned this in our mentorship the other day. There was a really interesting case study in American history where Henry Ford was taken to court by his shareholders because Henry Ford believed the profits in a business should be split between the people working in the business, whereas the shareholders were claiming that only the shareholders should be the recipients of profits from revenues. And that court case, the judge sided with the shareholders, and that changed the trajectory of capitalism. So now we've got this capitalist society globally where shareholders maximize profits at the expense of everyone in the business. They don't really care about humans anymore. And I think it was a really interesting turning point for the capitalist model in general. So I do wonder what would happen if we kind of reimagined how that should work. And instead we started to see it more as people working within a business get to see more value from it. Especially with AI coming out and people losing their jobs, it's going to be really interesting to see how capitalism as a model adjusts, because obviously if no one has jobs and no one can buy stuff, that's not going to benefit businesses who have gotten rid of all human workers. So yeah, it's really fascinating time, really interesting to see which way it goes. Maybe a bit heavy for an Amazon FBA live stream.
It's quiet today, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm not surprised though. It is very hot outside.
Yes, it is very nice. It's supposed to be 34 in London today.
Glenn Lacey said went very political. It did, but the thing is, right? We agreed that we weren't going to talk politics on Seller Smart because we don't want to be divisive. We don't want to alienate people. But when things are this bad everywhere, it's kind of hard to escape it, isn't it? The conversation comes up all the time.
It certainly does.
And, you know, everyone watching this, whoever does Amazon, we're business owners. So if there's any people that have to pay attention a bit more to politics, it's business owners, because who you vote for directly has an impact on your chances of success building a startup. It's very hard to do that in the UK now, unfortunately. The government are not making it easy. It's one of the reasons I love Amazon FBA, actually, because I think it's a really good stepping stone into business. It's a really good way to operate a business and be handheld a lot of the way by, you know, not ever having to touch the stock if you don't want to, having a community to help you grow and everything like that. You don't have to do it solo. I'm biased though, because I wasn't thinking like a business owner when I first got into Amazon FBA, and Amazon was the thing that led me to start to think like a business owner rather than an employee. What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
Sorry, mate, I zoned out then. I was got an email from HMRC, which I was reading. You were talking about being an employee versus being an owner or something.
Yeah, I was saying Amazon to me was the stepping stone into business. And for a lot of people, I think it's a really good, easy way to start to see if business is for you.
Yeah, for sure. Like I guess it goes back to the political stuff as well. I was never got into the politics of anything before, but I think when you start to own a business and start paying taxes and stuff like that, I guess everyone's pays taxes, right? But when you start physically having to send HMRC your money, as opposed to it just coming out on your pay slip and you don't sort of think, well, you don't actually have to action anything. And I think that's when you start to realize, you take things a bit more seriously and you realize what you go into a bit more sort of political side of things. And I think, it's just running a business in general. It makes you opens your mind up a lot to everything else that's going on outside in the wider world as well.
I've lost the window. Hold on. There we go.
But yeah, anyone got any questions, Amazon, FBA related or anything? Okay. Please don't. My daughter's ready to go in this paddling pool. She wants her Barbies though.
Rosa and I were debating buying a paddling pool the other day.
It's been great for the kids. They've not got out of it since we bought it.
We had a day in uni once where we put a very large paddling pool in our living room on the second floor of a flat, and we filled it to the brim. It was super risky, but it was really funny.
Was that in halls?
No, I didn't live in halls. I lived in outside accommodation flats.
Whereabouts did you live?
Back then, I lived in Filton in Bristol because I went to Bristol UE.
Yeah. Okay. Because I wasn't sure if you're in Frenchay as well, same as me.
Nah, too expensive. Decided to go the cheaper route.
Yeah, I don't really actually know I can't remember what the cost was now. But it's definitely expensive. And it's quite far out as well. It was a pain in the ass getting into town all the time.
Hey, we just got a very cool update regarding our software.
Oh yeah. Oh, I saw. Yeah, that's. Can you say it or not?
I will talk to Cal and Reese before I do.
I saw that. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good. That'll make a big difference.
For sure. Do you know what I want to buy as soon as I can as well? As soon as I got some time. Now it's hot. I really want to buy a Ninja Creamy.
Yeah, a lot of people have been hyping up them for a while, haven't they? They do look very good. If I had the space, I'd probably buy them. But my kitchen's not the biggest, and I'll just end up having so many different thingies in there. I just never have any counter space to do anything.
Ninja. So, like to everyone out here watching, when you do Amazon, you occasionally get like absolute golden ticket smashing products. During the time of the Cove, Ninja products were like gold dust. And I remember having a call with Sam once where he showed me a Ninja listing. It was selling 40,000 times a month. And even Amazon, when they were getting stock, they were selling out within 15 minutes. So if you could get your hands on stock and sell it, you were in for a hell of a good amount of profit then.
Yeah, Ninja. That was the air fryer stage. They were nuts. A lot of the Ninja products they sell so quickly. And they were amazing. I can't remember what caused the hype of them. I think it was Martin Lewis did some sort of report or something saying air fryers will reduce energy bills and all this sort of nonsense, and then everyone just went mad and then just started buying them, and the demand was just insane for air fryers. They're so good.
They are amazing. I love air fryers, but air fryer is a really good example of clever marketing because it's actually just a small oven. That's the only difference.
Yeah,
but it's just very clever marketing.
Yeah, 100%.
B Pracads, welcome to the live, mate. How are you?
1047.
Now we've got this software, Sam. Do you know what we could start doing?
What's that?
We could start doing some actual lesson planning and demonstrations and stuff.
Yeah, we probably should. It definitely make use of, I guess, as long as Cal's happy to do it, it would definitely make use of, using the software and showing what it can do. We need dummy data though. That's the main problem, isn't it?
Yeah. He said that was more complicated to add in than he thought, but he was looking into it. I suppose we could just do Celeramp and Keeper in the interim.
Yes. Yeah, it could do. Sure.
B Prakaad said, "Good mate, getting my bottom beat a bit from Amazon this week, but there's no highs without the lows. How are you?" I'm good, mate. It sounds like I'm having a better week than you. Well, give me some context. What's been going on there? I love the mentality, though. You're absolutely right. You cannot have the highs without the lows, for sure. Karis Lloyd, sales been down for everyone in the nice weather. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Karis. The sun, it happens all the time. As soon as the sun's out, everyone's outside enjoying it. No one's spending money. So it's normal. It always happens this time of year. Did I say your name correctly, by the way? Is it Karis? You said unless we got sun cream or swimming pools. Exactly that. If you've got seasonal related stock related to summer, then you can do really well. I take it I didn't say your name correctly. I'm terrible with names. Apologies. How would you say this, Sam? Carys.
Karis.
Karis.
What did you say?
Karis or Karis. Karis.
Karis. Yeah, that's how I would say it.
Yeah, Karis. Okay, you were right.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Nice to see some comments on Instagram as well. Instagram's usually pretty dead for us. B Prakash had orders cancelled, £300 of stock chucked in the bin by Every and regated by 3 brands. I literally ungated 3 days ago. Mate, that is a bad week. Unfortunate.
I saw he said Every delivered something to his house or wherever it was, and they put it in the
yeah.
And
yeah, they put it in the recycling bins, didn't they?
That's mental, putting stuff in bins. I never understand why they do that. Mine always goes behind the bin, not in the actual bin. I think that's just I don't know. That's obviously is what's going to happen if you chuck in parcels in the bin.
Yeah. Also, recycling bins are disgusting and dirty, so that's bad anyway. But
well, yeah.
Yeah, be Prakash. You can definitely get your money back for that, right? You can make a claim with Every or with Amazon for that.
Yeah, surely.
Glenn Lacey had stuff put in grass bin before. Yeah. I used to do Every delivery driving, not for very long. I used to be a delivery driver for 3 years in general, but common sense, you'd never put something in a bin. You put it near the bin, maybe, try and hide it from public view. But where I live right now, people don't even knock on our door. They just leave the package on the front door, like playing out in the open. It's so frustrating. Kara said, "I'm Lloydie from TikTok. Welcome, mate. Good to see you on Instagram in that case. Hopefully it's just going to delay my growth a bit, but I'll loan myself from the savings to make up for the delay." Yeah, it is annoying. It's a headache. It's one of those things that happens, though. You got the right mentality around it. Just keep plugging away. The most annoying thing isn't just the delay to growth in terms of reinvesting cash. It's how much runaround the courier companies make you do. When there's something that's really black and white, obvious to see what's wrong. I hate how many times you have to talk to them, be put on hold, how much, how many hoops you have to jump through before they sort it.
Yeah, constantly jumping through hoops. It's a nightmare. I'm hungry. What's the time? 2:00.
Yeah, I'm hungry as well. Do you want to stay for 5 more minutes?
Yeah, stay till 2. Super quiet. If anyone's got any last minute questions, fire away.
You sound so enthused.
When's Cal getting on the lives then?
I've been asking that question for months. I will believe it when I see it.
Let's get them on. It'd be good for everyone to see who they are.
Yeah. I mean, you guys watching this, you see our stupid faces all the time, but we really want to show you more of Reese, more of Cal, just because the team's getting big. You know, we've got 15 people at the moment. Most of them you're probably never going to see publicly, but got really amazing people in the Seller Smart team. Everyone's super passionate, and like everyone has different perspectives. So Reese and Cal have very different perspectives on how to do things than Sam and I do, and likewise I have different perspectives to Sam. That's why, like, anyone who works with us in the mentorship, you get so many different perspectives. That's why it increases the chances of success, because if one person doesn't know the answer to something, someone in the team will.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Dante, Adade, you guys look to expand off Amazon, Shopify, brick and mortar.
Can I try that? Is it Dante Adea? Adea?
Makes more sense. So no, for me, mainly because I do want an arbitrage. Brick and mortar sounds like hell. I would never open a brick and mortar shop. I just have no interest in that ever. Because the whole reason I do Amazon is so I can be as flexible and work as remote as possible. So it's the same reason I'll never get a warehouse and I would never get a brick and mortar shop. I do not want to be glued to a certain location all the time. It just sounds horrific. Plus, when we do online arbitrage, like I can't really have a brick and mortar shop doing online arbitrage. It's not a thing. Same with Shopify, it doesn't really work. I think if you've got private label or wholesale, then you can look at Shopify and brick and mortar. But otherwise, no, it's all going to be online. We can look at other platforms that we can look at. I don't know, online arbitrage, you can look at other platforms. I guess the only other one is like eBay. You can then look at OnBuy, B&Q, that sort of thing. But in terms of Shopify, brick and mortar, it's not really the route for online arbitrage. More if you go down the private label route, really.
One thing I'm really excited to try, which I haven't had the chance to do it, when we expand to the bigger warehouse for our prep center, I've asked if we can allocate one of the offices to develop a studio to do live social shopping. So because we have access to loads of wholesale leads, I want to hire someone. I'm not going to do this myself. I want to hire someone to do live social shopping based on the wholesale products we have. I've heard that is popping off lately. And if you're mixing it with wholesale, it's possible to do it. Probably best with private label. But yeah, that would be the way that I divert from Amazon eventually, just because it does seem like a very big opportunity. The QVC-ification of social media, as Gary Vee says.
I know who would be great at it, but I know she won't do it. I think she'd be so good at it, but I can't see her doing it at all.
No, we had a guest speaker in our mentorship who gave so much source, and one of the things he was saying in it was that you can hire someone for £15 an hour, and you can pay them commission based on the sales they make to do the live social shopping for you. So that's the kind of thing I would be looking to do. I might give it a go at some point myself, but I can't help but to think, because Sam and I do these lives, it's a bit like you don't want to go too mad, do you?
Yeah, you don't want to stretch yourself too thin as well. I think you're much better off outsourcing that to someone who knows what they're doing, because then it's like a whole nother avenue you then need to learn and start going after. Whereas if you can hire someone who vaguely knows what they're doing and it's just a case of giving them products and a decent setup, I think your time would be much better doing that, I think.
Matey Boy in TikTok, I'm really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that because it's in a different language. Wholesale or PL, we do online arbitrage, Amazon to Amazon, EU A, European Amazon to Amazon, and wholesale. That's what we talk about here. How about yourself, mate? And Lewis said, do you use your own prep center? Hell yeah, Lewis. Why wouldn't I? You can imagine owning a prep center means you can do prep center stuff really cheaply. So yeah, absolutely, I do. Can you imagine how wild it would be if I didn't use PrepSmart and I used someone else? But yeah, Prep Smart is amazing. I'm not just saying this because I'm one of the co-owners on it, but genuinely, we are the best prep center I've experienced because we have automations and we have a really dedicated team. The prep centers I've used before is a lot of manual data entry and a lot of chasing communications in a way I didn't like. No disrespect to any of them. I've spoken to a lot of prep center owners and they're really nice guys, really decent lads. But yeah, our prep center is really damn good, and I'm so proud of the team for the work they put into it because they put so much effort in, so much effort. B Prakaad said, for retail arbitrage, will I be fine with Amazon if I have a physical receipt and a bank statement, or do I need more? You will be fine, but you can't use it for ungating. So if you get an authenticity complaint or an IP violation, as long as you've got a clear photo of it, you will be okay, but you can't use it for ungating.
Dante Ade, at what point / Rev shall I start taking money out? When did you guys? So it depends. It's not really Rev related. I don't think Rev really plays a part in it. It's more down to profit, and it depends if you need to. So what I would use as an example, like let's say you want to take out £1,000 a month out of the business to pay yourself, or just out of the business just for, I guess for whatever reason. You want to be in a position where you're consistently hitting at least 3 or 4 times that in profit every single month. If you've just got to the point where you're making £1,000 profit every single month, and then you now and you now take that out of the business, it's just not going to be, you're making it life difficult for yourself. It's going to be hard to grow and hard to scale because you're taking out all of your profit from the business. Whereas if you make £4,000 a month or £5,000 a month, and then you want to then take out £1,000 to pay yourself, then that you're going to be in a much better position, because that way you're not going to stunt your growth so much. So you're taking quite a small percentage out of your overall profit, that you've still got enough in there to grow and scale without harming your business too much. But equally, you want to be doing that consistently as well. You don't want to make your first £1,000 a month profit and then just take it out straight away. You want to be doing that consistently over like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, where you're making the same amount of profit over and over again, which then gives you the option to then take out money from the business that way. So look at it more from a profit point of view and how much you actually need to take out, rather than revenue.
Yeah, and the more you can reinvest, the better, because then you get the compound effect of your money. So if you can not take any money out for the first year or two, do that. If you can't, obviously, if you have a life to live, then that's fair enough. But yeah, a good estimation is double your profit that you need to take out. So if you want to take out 2, try to earn 4, and do that 3 months in a row at least. Be consistent, I should say. But yeah, ideally, you don't want to take money out at all. You want to keep reinvesting it and buying more stock.
100%.
Lewis said, I use Prep Smart. It's pretty good. I like the software. Okay, we're going to have to work hard to get it to really good. We have some opportunities coming up for our prep clients, Lewis, where very soon we're going to be having wholesale lead opportunities for people in the prep center. We haven't gone to that point yet, but it will be coming very soon. So look forward to that.
So Dante Adai, thanks for answering the last question. What report would you recommend I do to reduce leakage when FBA? Example, non-returnable food items being refunded by Amazon and switcheroos. So switcheroos, and so there's a few reports. Switcheroos, you're going to want to look at your customer removal report. So when you get a customer removal, once you've got the removal orders have been received at yourself with your warehouse, you then want to pair them up with an LPN number, and you can then cross-reference that against the Amazon return report or like refund report. You can then see what the reason is for it to be refunded. Based on that reason, you can then hopefully claim a reimbursement. If there's stuff missing from the product, if you're selling a printer and it's got no cables, no ink and all that jazz, then you can then try and get a reimbursement. You're not going to get a full reimbursement, but you're going to get some of it. And yeah, by tying that up, you can see exactly what product you've got, the return reason, and what the condition is, and if it's likely to get approved as a as a reimbursement. Other ways to do leakage is switcheroos, making sure your serial numbers match. Again, this is more to do with electronic products. If you again buy a printer, someone sends a printer back, the box serial number and the actual product serial number is different, make sure you get reimbursed for that. Amazon will reimburse you because they've sent the wrong product back. So that's a really good way to avoid leakage. In terms of food and sort of returnless refunds, there's not really much you can do. Like, you're not really going to get reimbursed from Amazon, but you can monitor it. There used to be a really good report in Amazon, and they've removed it, and it's so frustrating. They had a really good returns report which I used for everything, but now they decided to use another one which just doesn't tell you half the information as quickly and as easily. But the only way, I'm just having a look now, but the only way would be to look at a return report and then seeing what type of products you're getting reimbursed, what type of products you're refunding without getting the product back. And then you need to look at what your percentage is in terms of refunds. If it's super high, you want to consider, is it really worth continuing to sell it? Or if it's not that high, the margin is still good, then is it worth doing? So the return report is pretty crap now. There used to be a really good one. You can, if you run the standard return report in Amazon and go on the right hand side, they just don't really update it that regular compared to the other one. It normally says on the right hand side, you've got like return started. It's either in green or grey, and then there's one of them which will say like return started or not expecting return or something like that, and that's when you know it's been disposed of. So it's just keeping an eye on that and see if you can spot any trends, and there's always a reason as well. There's disposition, and within that you can see if it's customer damaged or if it's defective, if it's switcheroo or anything like that. So it's staying on top of that. But there's not really much you can do about the food stuff. That is just sort of what you get into when you're selling those types of products. And then what about item packaging damaged? Can I get money on that? Not really. Like, Amazon will try every opportunity to give you as little to no money as possible. So you can't really claim that back. Again, it depends on the product, but for the most part, damaged packaging, Amazon takes no responsibility for what the customers do with it. So there's not a lot you can do. It's a case of either selling back on Amazon as used, under a used SKU, or it's a case of selling on, I don't know, depending on what it is, Vinted, eBay, or something like that. In terms of the return report, if you go to the Amazon homepage, type in the 3 lines on the left, go down to reports, and then go to fulfillment by Amazon. And then if you scroll down on the left-hand side, you've got is it under payments? No, not payments. You want to go to, where is it?
You go to reports on the left and then returns report, right?
Oh yeah, FBA. It's under customer concessions and then FBA customer returns, and then click on that, and that will take you to the return report. But it's okay. It's just not as up. It doesn't get as updated. Yeah, customer concession. That's the one. So Amazon FBA reports, there's like titles starting at inventory, sales, payments, customer concessions. Under customer concessions, it's the first link called FBA customer returns. Alternative, you can't find that, which I use a lot of the time, is the search bar in the top on the Seller Central page. Just search FBA customer returns report, and it will show up there. It might be a bit easier.
Well, thank you for joining the live as well, Dante. You're a fresh face. We haven't seen you in here before. So don't forget to join our free Discord community and schedule a call with us if you wanted to work one-to-one with us.
Yeah, definitely. Jump in the free Discord. And if you're struggling to find the report, ping it, message in there, and I can sort of guide you a bit better.
Okay, we got a few questions piled up. So Be precarious. Is it worth sacrificing a bit of ROI, like taking 20% for items like laptops? In my head, I saw it as a fast flip. I would say it's worth cutting your ROI down to 20% if it sells quickly. For people with limited cash flow, high value products is actually quite risky because something can go wrong with it and all your cash is tied up in an expensive return. So if it sells really quickly and I'm going to turn over my cash quickly, then I'll go down to 20% ROI for sure.
It depends on your situation as well. Like, are you VAT registered? Are you non-VAT registered? Like, if you're not VAT registered, I wouldn't recommend buying anything for 20% ROI.
Good point.
If you bought it and then the prices sort of crashed and you need to get rid, then yeah, that's a different situation. But if you're actively buying it as a deal at 20% ROI, then you probably shouldn't. Although, because it's a laptop, I know the margin's probably going to be a lot better because it's probably going to be high value. But yeah, ideally, you want to be non-VAT reg. You want to be looking at like minimum 30% ROI as much as possible. To be honest with you, just to make your life a little bit easier. If you're buying and selling at 20% ROI, you need to be on top of all your numbers, all your leakage, everything. You need to know exactly what everything is at every opportunity, because that 20% ROI can turn into very slim margins very quickly if you're not on top of stuff, especially stuff like laptops. Electronic items will get returned, and if you're not managing that correctly, then yeah, you'll be paying the price.
So you said I'm shifting from drop shipping to Amazon FBA. Didn't decide yet if I should do wholesale or PL. I have experience in branding and PL in general, though. The missus and I paid a lot of money to do a mentorship in drop shipping. We learned a lot. Especially about meta advertising. So I don't feel like it was a mistake, but drop shipping made us lose a lot of money. And almost everyone I know doing drop shipping was losing money, not making money. There's one guy I know who made a lot of money with drop shipping, but he had a social media marketing agency before getting into it. So he had a lot of experience. Wholesale is probably, depending on how much cash you've got, my friend, wholesale is probably a good way to go. But if you want to build a brand and potentially exit one day, then PL is going to be the way you go. Just depends. Like, everyone is different. Hardeep said, hi, not done sourcing for a couple of months due to time constraints. Does this affect account health? Yeah, so Amazon reward you for sending in regular shipments. So if you haven't been doing that, you are going to notice that you don't get the buy box as much, or your ungating might be a bit challenging. So yeah, absolutely. Ideally, you want to be sending in stock, and Amazon will reward you for consistency, but it will come back. Just start being consistent again, and it will take a bit of time, but it will come back. Dante said, I'm always lurking, already in there. I used to sell in the UK, but now sell in the US. We have been waiting on Reese. We need to get back to a couple of sellers that we know who sell in the US, because we're getting more Americans join our lives, and we want to coach them in our mentorship. But there's intricacies, there's unique traits of the US market that we need to learn. So we were talking to a couple of US sellers who do that. They were saying, if you're a UK seller selling in the US, you should start with at least 20K because of the cost associated to selling in the US and because of the ungating requirements now. So anyone out there who's wondering, UK is the third biggest marketplace in the world for Amazon, and I still think it's a great one to do. And when you're a beginner, you think, I'm going to try all these different things. Just focusing on one at a time is going to yield way better results, because selling in the US and the UK is two completely separate things that are going to take two completely separate bits of your time. So it's better to just focus on one rather than the other.
Yeah, totally agree. You end up splitting your time, and it just doesn't work.
Flippy Kaye said, have you / do you use 0% personal credit cards?
Me, I haven't actually. No. No, I know they can be good. I know a lot of people do use them, but yeah, it's not something I've ever used before, to be honest with you. I've just always used Amex, Capital and Tap and stuff like that. But if you can manage it correctly, I think they're really good.
Yeah, I've done that before. Barclays had a 0% one for like 2 years, so I used it. Just direct as loan stuff into the company. Not saying I recommend it, of course. And I don't recommend, we in general don't recommend debt unless you figured out the strategy first. You want to figure out the strategy before you take too much risk. Otherwise, it's not calculated risk.
Yeah. Sure.
Hardeep said, is it best to get started with RA or OA? That depends on how much cash you have. How much are you starting with? Because if it's less than £1,000 to £2,000, retail arbitrage is a good place to start. If it's more, then just do online arbitrage. Right, we've been live for an hour and 45 minutes. We're both hungry, and I'm cooking in this studio. Really appreciate your time today, guys. Thank you for joining. And you're starting with about 2K. Yeah, in that case, go for online arbitrage, maybe even a bit of 8A. Okay, Dante's asked another question. Been doing it for 2 years. I would agree higher capital is needed. I started with 10K and it's a struggle. Most of my cost goes into prep fees, but I'm still growing just with 40 plus ROI months, 20% margin. That's really good. Yeah, prep fees in the US have gone really expensive, haven't they?
They're wild. Yeah, absolutely wild prep fees.
Cool, guys. Yeah, we have a free Amazon FBA Discord community link in the bio. As you can see, well, depending on where you're watching this from, on TikTok, I've got a little banner that says we do one-to-one coaching, VA recruitment. We have a prep center. We've got a software that we've been developing for 2 years. You can sign up to the wait list. We've got an account recovery expert, and we now have authorized distributor exclusive leads coming into us to the people in our mentorship. So if you want to work one-to-one with us, we have a 50K guarantee. We only have 5-star reviews. We now have 125 positive reviews and no negatives. Those will be going up on our website and landing pages soon. I need to get an update from Reese about that to ask what's going on, because it was supposed to happen last week. I know he was having formatting issues with the web pages. But yeah, if you want to work with us, let us know, schedule a call, give us a follow, and we'll follow you back. We can't send you direct messages on certain platforms without us following each other. So I hope you got some value from this live today. I'll be live again tomorrow, hopefully with Reese or Cal, but we'll see. And yeah, have a good day, guys. And Sam, good to see you, mate. Have a good day.
See you later, guys. Thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.